Hey everyone, welcome back to Bucs UK TV episode 145. We are looking ahead now to the Giants game. Just when you think the NFL can't give you any more of a smile, the Giants lose to Carolina. Anything's possible. Marianna, let's start with you. We know you've got a vested interest in this Giants stuff going on. Do we need to be worried about the Giants?
I think the only thing that might cause us concern is if they maybe change their quarterback because they could put in
I
some
think we
sort
don't
of
want them to.
because they could put in some sort of rookie quarterback, and we know what problems we have then. Um,
Their third string is Tommy DeVito, which I think is a fantastic football playing name.
Absolutely right.
And he did
um,
think last year as well.
Oh.
If you recall, like watching some of the Giants play last year, he was a big part when Daniel Jones was out. Became a bit of a cold figure, didn't he?
Yeah.
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 But
But
we know
yeah,
the Bucks have got a form for making backups look Pro Bowl.
we do, always do. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Giants, if we look at it as a whole, um, they've got some good pieces on their D line. Um, so that's there's an issue there if they can get to, if they can get to Baker. They've got Ojulari, who's been playing very well, and Thibodeau looks like he's going to be back. So their
Some guy called
defensive
Nunes
line,
Roches in the line. Yeah, we like him.
yeah, absolutely. So that's do you know, it's funny. I actually like to see him play well. I've got
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for him, and
Oh, that
and
big
also
time.
his
I
mum,
agree.
who, yeah, Nunes Roches. Their D line is quite good. Their secondary is shakier than ours, and their offense. There's not really much to be said about it at the moment. They've got like one player in Neighbours, and I think that's about it. So I would say no, we don't have to be worried, but that's going to make me worried.
Yeah. I mean, so what about the where we are at this point in the season? I mean, so we'll talk about playoffs and stuff after we talked about this game in particular. But it used to be when you were playing in Europe, you'd get the week off after. Well, clearly that's not happening for the Giants. We're coming off of a couple of close games, but we feel like we're down but not out. But I mean, I don't know. Losing to the Panthers would not do wonders for my morale as a team, I suspect.
No, it wouldn't. And I've got a very close friend who was at Munich,
Mm,
and he's a massive Giants fan. And I'm always in sort of close
mm.
proximity to talking about the Giants. For me, I think they are in a situation where the quarterback situation is pretty much settled. I think now
As in, goodbye, Daniel
they,
Jones, you think?
yeah. There's a lot of talk about Drew Lock coming in
Mm, mm.
for the week coming. So Drew Lock obviously has a bit of experience with the Broncos. I think we've played him before, if I recall. I don't
Mm.
recall him doing too much against us, but it is going to be, again, it's like you say, it's the unknown, isn't it?
Mm.
A new scheme. Drew Lock's a different sort of quarterback to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones at the minute is he's lacking confidence in the throwing game, but he can sort of hit you with one or two runs where he can get the first yardage, and
Mm.
that's exactly where it could be a problem for us because if we are going out blitzing, like we said in the previous show, he could exploit those runs and get a few first downs. But I do think the Giants have good offensive pieces. I mean, their running game, they've got Tyron Tracy, who's a rookie, who seems to have taken the mantle over Devin Singletary. He's a very
Mm.
dangerous runner. He was quite dangerous in college. He's a former receiver who was at Purdue, turned running back, and he's been a real good player for them. Even in the Panthers game, he was quite effective when he was used. But yeah, I think it's about stopping Malik Neighbors at the end of the day. We need someone on him at all
It's,
times.
it's not a
Um,
bad set of skill positions because if it's not Malik, then it's Darius Slayton, and if it's not them, it's Daniel Bellinger. They've got some
yeah,
good jigsaw pieces there to play
yeah.
with.
There's Wandale Robinson as well. He's
Mm,
another
mm,
good receiver who's very good underneath as well. He's a small type of receiver. Um, and he can be dangerous. He's had a decent start as well this year. He's sort of pulled on from his rookie year. But I guess when you're like when you're short on options, you've got no choice but to step up. So I think that's where they're at as well, a sort of similar situation.
So Stu, how aggressive do we want to be on D? What's the success to holding these giants? Because
See,
on the one hand it's underpowered, on the other hand it's got good pieces, I think.
I still like a good blitz. I don't know. I like to just chuck it up there and really put them
Send
under
everyone.
pressure. Just
Bring
go for
Winfield
it.
as well. Yeah.
And yeah, I know we'll probably. It's always frustrating when they get you over the top when you do that, but I don't know, something I quite enjoyed the D this week. They did blitz more than what they have done recently, and I quite liked it, to be fair. Yeah, we got caught out with a couple of big plays, but I'd love to see it again. And I think especially early doors, get in their faces. You've just come back from a horrible loss in Germany, and if you're in New York and you get in them early, I just think that would be lovely.
Yeah,
I think
jet lag.
just to follow on from that, I think that may actually work for us well this time. We can sometimes have problems getting through to the quarterback when we're doing this blitzing, as you say. But the big weakness that the Giants have had for multiple years now is on their O-line. And they've had to make changes yet again in the past week where they had to switch their left tackle back out. So they're
is that Chris Hubbard playing or not playing? I've lost track.
No, they ended up swapping out to Evan Neal, I think.
Okay.
Now, so
yeah, Evan's really struggled as well, hasn't he?
Now he had a good game, funnily enough, yesterday, despite the result. A lot of people were saying he had a good game, which is like something that they felt was growth. But as you say, he's struggled historically. So I think, this could be the week where blitzing a lot may actually work well for us, because also depending on who's at that quarterback position, and it really is, I think, still a little bit unclear. I like you. I think so. I think I expect to see Drew Lock, due to a lot of the sort of contractual reasons with Daniel Jones as well, because I don't know if people are aware, but he's got a big contract clause, which means if he gets injured, he gets paid for the next 2 years. Yeah. So Giants fans are not really keen to see him stay there on a huge contract because he's gone down injured, and it could be one of our guys that takes him out, unfortunately. So but either way, Daniel Jones or Drew Lock, I don't see them particularly burning us the way that we've been burnt by other players. In what I was saying about that sort of mid-range, going over the top to their tight ends. Their tight end at the moment, I'm trying to think of his name.
Theo Johnson, they've got as well.
Yeah. He's very much, I think, a rookie himself as well, and he was making a few rookie mistakes over the last few games. I think that's the thing. I mean, even Tyrone Tracy, he's been great, but yesterday he made a rookie fumble, which like right goal line sort of fumble. So they've got good players, good talent for years to come, but we can definitely, I think, potentially like make use of their inexperience, I think, and that's where we may sort of get an advantage. Let's use their inexperience and let's blitz against a sort of relatively weak O-line.
Well, it'd be nice to see something a bit less vanilla then. So if we're going to blitz, let's, do some stunts. Let's send players that we don't necessarily always send. Let's try and confuse them a little bit, because it feels like they may not be best placed then to react to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it a bit more complex. Okay, let's switch to the other side of the ball. We talked a little bit about who's on D. Sukh, your turn to be coach this time. You're now Kieron. What we're going to scheme up to keep scoring points. It felt like a bit of a down week, only 20,
So for me, it is actually making use of the running game, because the Giants' run defense has not been very good this year. It's one of the weakest. I think it's at the bottom 5 for the season. So making use of that running game maybe, like you say, deploying all three in, and even Sterling Shepherd. I'm sure Sterling, playing against his former team, has got sort of a point to prove as well. So
I
having
forgot about
him,
that.
Rashard,
Yeah.
we've got Tucker, and obviously my boy Bucky. Using them. Maybe even getting the wildcat formation. Let's be a bit dangerous. I think that'll be. I can envisage us doing a bit more, opening up the playbook a lot more. And like you said, Marianna pointed out earlier that their secondary, is not. It's not the best either. So this could be an opportunity for the likes of Cade and Sterling Shepherd, and even Jalen McMillan to have maybe his best sort of career day. So yeah, I am confident that we can get to them. Obviously, the one massive danger that we've got is to obviously ensure that we're protecting Baker at all costs, especially with Dexter Lawrence there, who's, for me, he's probably the best in his position at the minute in the NFL. We've got to really keep a close eye on him. Hopefully Thibodeau is not back, because them as sort of a tandem is quite dangerous. But I trust that Cohen's gonna do the right thing, and I think Baker as well. He'll shred them. I'm pretty certain.
Okay, well, in which case, ready your score predictions. But before we get to your score predictions, I want to hear the one player that's going to be pivotal for the Bucs. Then, whichever side of the ball you think. Marianne, let's start with you. Who's the one that's going to have some of the game on their shoulders this week?
I'm going to, I think, put it onto someone like Vaya. If we can stop Tyron Tracy from running through us, then I think and force the Giants into playing a passing game, then I think their weakness at QB is just going to stand out too much. So I
Okay, so
think that's where I'm going to go. I think
collapse it in the middle. Stu?
Yeah.
A player.
Hmm.
I think Cade Otton. I think he's been. I think the run game's going to be big, but I think he's going to be our sort of like get out of jail player, and I think he's going to be probably the solid receiver there.
Okay, good call. Let's hope so. And then Sukh.
I'm going to go for Rashard White. I think he's going to have a really good game. I think he's going to get a lot of those underneath passes, screen passes coming to him. I think even in the running game, he's probably going to have one of his better games running, which, I know he has sort of struggled when you compare it to Bucky, but I think he can definitely have one of those games where we look back and say, you know what, he got sort of average 5 yards per carry, and that would be brilliant if he does. Because I think if we do that, then we're definitely on the way to winning, and then we can also, take that clock out. That's one of the other things as well. Not give them any time on offense as well.
Yeah, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5. You take that every time in advance if you had the choice, wouldn't you? So yeah, I completely
100%.
agree. Okay, then. So score prediction time. Money where your mouth is. Stu, surely you're going to give your Bucs win here.
Yeah, gotta go for a win. It's gonna be 31-17.
Oh, that's good.
I'm feeling positive about it.
All right, we like the point.
This is the start of the run. This is it.
Yeah.
Marianna, scoreboard.
Oh, this is our game. I'm going to go. This is a 49-9.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be nice. We could Sukh. Surely you can't beat that.
No, I can't. I had 31 in my head as well, to be honest. I don't see the Giants scoring many points. I think 13 points for them, so 31-13. A comfortable game. I think maybe in the first half we'll be a bit slow, but we'll pick it up in the second half, and it'll be a nice win for us, which we need.
I agree. Yeah, I had 28-17 written down. I kind of thought it would be a little bit cagey, a little bit backwards and forwards, and then basically I think they'll be out of gas because I don't think they're not going to be able to run with us Bucs because we're gonna dominate in the end. Okay, hopefully. So then, lastly, then playoffs. So, how much do you think this is all about? Like, are we in must-win mode now?
Well, I think so. We're 3 games behind the Falcons, really, aren't we?
Yeah. So does that mean we're only looking best at a wild card? Do you think?
No, not after
Hmm.
not after the Falcons gets us. I still think we should have beaten the Falcons twice
Yeah.
already anyway. But I'm not going to go back there. But I think we are in we definitely got to win this one. For me, it's sort of like this is one that's there to be taken. And if you don't start winning them now, we've lost a few of them recently, and if we don't start winning now, we're going to be out of the running. So yes, this is it. This is the start of it, though. Remember when we won the Super Bowl? Boom! This is the start of the run.
Okay, well, that's a bit Joe Namath pointing off into the distance. I like that. Marianna, playoff.
Um, I think I'm
How do we
possibly a
find a
little
way?
bit less optimistic than Stu. Um, I really do think we're in that must-win mode, and I still think we've got a few games to come that we can trip up on. So, um, I mean, we've just got to go out there and do it. And I just think if we lose one, particularly if it's one of the sort of divisionals, that's it. I think it will unfortunately be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
Um,
it feels like 4 and 6. That's 10 games. That's 7 games left. You can't win less than 10 to get in the playoffs, probably on a 17-game season, can you? So I think we could
maybe
trip
get
up once, maybe, but then maybe,
yeah.
like you say, if you've got a tiebreaker going your way or a divisional record that's good. But answer is we don't, do we? So
No.
1 and 2 in the division is not is everyone else is the same or better.
Yeah.
The thing that's frustrating with it is though that we've been there or thereabouts with so many of the games that we've just narrowly lost. So, I did sort of say, not to go back, but I will go back. We should have beaten the Falcons twice,
Yeah.
and and we're there,
Well,
Kansas City to overtime. Yesterday's game, we are there, and we're mixing it against some decent teams as well. So I think it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't make it to the playoffs. And I think you've got to, if we do make it there, I think we'll upset some people.
so quickly, yes or no, Suck? Do the Bucks make the playoffs?
Yeah, we're winning all the rest of our games. And to tell you the truth, I even asked my boys, and as you know, one of my boys is a Chargers fan, and we have Chargers on the schedule. He actually picked the Bucks to win as well, so
Ooh.
I'm feeling, and they're honest lads, so I'm confident. I honestly see us going on a run,
Were you
and
holding a sort of a chocolate bar at a distance at that point, or
honestly, I wasn't at all. They're very honest, and they know the
yeah,
Bucks are a good team. Yeah.
cool. All right, well, let's wait and see. So yeah, it seems like the end of the season is narrowing now, and it's starting to get to the squeaky side of things. So you've heard what we think. Let us know what you think is a score prediction, and tell us yes or no in the comments. Will the Bucks make the playoffs? Now, remember, if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can now comment as well as on YouTube. So let us have your say. Keep it clean. Suck, Marianna, Stu, thank you ever so much. We will see you next week to pour over it. And until then, go Bucks.
Go
Go
Bucks.
Bucks!